Hey guys, this is Heretic, and in this video I'm going to go over the Infantry Mage setup. Been asked a few times if I could cover it. It's usually the most popular setup, especially at the beginning of a realm when you first start out. Most people want to go with Infantry Mage because at the beginning you're not going to have dodge or anything that's going to help you as far as using cav as your front line. Infantry is extremely strong. They have the most HP, the better defense. They are the best out of the gate as far as your front line. Your back end, same thing. Mage is your best back end, especially right out of the gate. It's going to have the most damage, and that's kind of what you want from your back line, right? The most amount of damage that you can possibly get. So the Infantry Mage is good all the way through the game. So not just at the beginning, but even later on. This is one of the characters here that I have that is Infantry Mage. And I'm going to go through your artifacts. I'm going to go through your Mystic College. I'm going to go through the Star Palace. I'm going to go over, start off by just going over troops and what to look for briefly. Most people get that. I'm going to try not to waste any time at all. I'm going to go through level 25, level 30, and level 35 gear to help you here. I'm going to touch on the research, which is pretty obvious, and your B skills, and your Colossus as well, which is pretty obvious as well. All right, so let's go ahead and get started.
Count up the loot, call up the troops.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and start here with the actual troops. So if we look at your tier, your even tier, your special skill here is to reduce damage versus mages, which is really, really good because most people like to play mages, even you if you're watching this video probably. And your odd tier raises your HP when you're on the defending side. So obviously your odd tier is going to be used for defense, and your even tier is more of an offensive troop. A lot of people ask me, I have tier 11 finally. Should I still use tier 10 for attack? I would probably say no. You could use tier 11 here. The difference in HP here, if you look in the defense, is still pretty good. And it probably outweighs your even tier. But you could have a mixed setup where you have a little bit of even, a little bit of odd with the same on the back line. All right, so let's look at your mages. All right, your even tier mages have bonus damage to all soldiers during defense. So your even tier here is your defensive troop, while your odd has damage against cav. So especially when you get into the 30s and people start moving over to cav, this will be really handy to kind of focus them down. All right, so there's your troops. Let's look over at artifacts. I don't have the best setup here, but it's not too bad. The most important, the best of your artifacts is going to be the Athena's Aegis, because it's going to have, look at your 5 and 6 star especially, and I know that's way down the line for most people, but it has a damage reduction for your army, and it has a damage reduction for your infantry. Add those up and you have 23.5 damage reduction, which is a lot more important than your HP and your defense. I think I've read 4 times more important, just as a rule of thumb. But all the way through, every single one of these stars is important. Even the initial stat reduces damage taken from archers, which you don't get in a lot of places, but which is kind of funny because if you're using infantry, most likely you're not going to be using archers. I haven't seen a lot of infantry archer setups, mostly cav archer, and I'll get to that, the reason why later. So this is a overall great great artifact. And one of the main reasons is this artifact skill, which puts a shield on your front line that absorbs damage at the beginning of fights. You can only use it once every 3 days, but it is really good. And one thing to keep in mind, if you're doing a lot of team attacks, like if you're doing a speed attack or something for crown or for some other event, or attacking somebody, in a group attack, these stacks, if you have multiple people with the guardian shield, they'll kind of stack together and absorb a ton of damage. So it's really useful. I have seen in Elite War where I've seen some battles where they have multiple people with the shield, and it is the difference maker. Right, so the Athena Aegis is amazing. The Ganjang Moye, if that's how you pronounce it, is also really good because it's going to give you a lot of damage reduction and hit points for your, or health points for your infantry. It's really nice, and especially on the budget side. Another good budget artifact is the Goosely, with reduces damage taken by mages and a nice attack boost. And at the 5-star, an HP boost. On the budget side, it's great. Number 2, if, for normal types of artifacts, high end, orange, the Brionic is what I'd probably put in second place here. It has good infantry, damage versus infantry, mage attack, mage HP, which isn't that great. Cav attack's not going to help you at all. You get your attack boost, though, at 5-star of 11.5, and then damage reduction for the army, plus 11, one of the best things you can get. And the artifact skill is also really good. I got the Colossus, I don't know how to pronounce that. Someone tell me. And it is not great for infantry, really. But it does have a pretty good artifact skill that I do like. It has damage increase against angels. The attack boost is good. The HP boost is good up to the 5-star, and that's probably where I would stop. Okay. The Excalibur, also always good. The Excalibur is good for everybody because you can get a lot of the fragments for free. I haven't bought any fragments at all, and I'm at 2-star now, headed towards 3-star. Shouldn't take very long for me to get that, and that's just from the Monster Swarm event that we get. The third best of the normal artifacts here would be the Mjolnir, the hammer. Damage increasing against infantry again. You get attack boost, mage attack, infantry damage, and mage damage. All of those, your 3, 4, 5, and 6-star, are really nice to have. And it is one that I will push. Right now, I'm actually trying to get my shield up to 4-star. So, wrong one. So I've been, just collecting the fragments as I go. When I'm given a choice, I'm getting the shield. I know that, this would probably be the better way to go to get this up to 3-star for now and get that attack boost and then the mage attack. But right now I am just trying to push up that shield because I want to help out more in team attacks. All right, so there's artifacts. And there's some other good, decent choices in here as you go through. You can take a look. All right, so let's take a look at your Zodiac while we're in the same area. And I like to look at it this way. This is a lot easier. You can just come in here and you can take a look. Just hold down on your, on each of these birthstones, and you can see what they actually give. The Ares does not give, it gives the angel attack, which is good later on. But other than that, it's not really going to help you. Taurus gives damage increase against Cav, not really that helpful. Gemini, angel attack is good. Damage taken reduced by defending. Cancer reduces the damage taken from archers, I guess is okay. Leo, mage attack, very helpful. Reduces damage taken by mages is also good, because a lot of people play mages. All right, Virgo, mage attack, great. Damage increase when defending, it's okay. Libra, reduces damage taken from angels, pretty good. That'll be really important as you move along. It depends on where you are in the game. Scorpio, angel HP is good, mage attack is good, damage increase against mages is good. Pretty decent. Scorpio's pretty decent. Sagittarius, infantry HP is super important. But other than that, the rest of that's not that important. Capricorn, infantry HP, mage attack, mage damage. This is one of the better ones that you can actually get. Capricorn is one you're going to want to focus on. Aquarius, infantry HP and damage against infantry. This is also a pretty good one as well. Pisces, infantry HP, damage reduction for infantry. This is a super important one. I would say the Capricorn and the Pisces are the two that you want to focus on big time. You know, if you're given a choice, you want to increase those up. So I'm almost at the point where I can push that one up again. Okay. So let's go over to the actual gear that you can get. All right, so let's go over to the Forge, and let's start with the level 25 gear. The Trader's Kiss isn't going to help you, but the Heart of Carlos, alrighty, is pretty good. It does have mage attack. I wouldn't go purple on 25, but if you're going blue, 10.2% there. At the level 30 for your weapon, you would go, real quick, you would want to go Holy Crossbow, which will give you your double mage attack, your army size limit, and the recruitment speed up. So this is a really good one to have. Holy Crossbow at level 30. And at level 30 is when you want to start going orange. That's what I would suggest, because it's going to take you a little while to get from 30 to 35. Whereas 25 to 30 is pretty darn easy, even just for most people, even for the non-spender. Here you would want to go, at 35 you'd want to go to the Mastery Staff. And this will give you your double mage attack, your army size limit, golem attack. Woohoo! But those are, the first three there are really good to have. And again, you'd want to be at your orange level at 35 for sure. So there's the weapon. Let's go over to the helmet. Starting at 25, you would want to go, let's look through here. Yeah, you would want to go with the element helmet, which would give you your infantry HP and army size limit. Probably be at about blue here, so you can see the 10.2s. And then at 25, you would want to go with you'd want to go with the, I'm sorry, we just did the 25. All right, so at 30, you would want to go with the Crown of Praise. That will give you your double up on your infantry HP, which would give you a total of 38%. And it'll give you some march speed there too. 38% infantry, so that's a no-brainer for your helm. At 35, you would want to go with the Dominator Mask, which would give you the double HP, infantry HP again, and the march speed. So over here, you're looking at, a 42% infantry HP. It's huge at your orange level. All right, let's go to the belt. The belt at 25. At 25, you have a choice between mage attack or infantry HP. I would go infantry HP. Your front line's going to be more important to you overall throughout the game than your back line. I mean, there's a balance, but yeah. And at 30, oh, well, that's terrible. At 30, you'll want to do, again, your infantry HP here is going to be the overall better one. And it's going to give you a 19% infantry HP on your belt here at 30. At 35, you would want to go with the Eternity belt, which will give you your 21% mage attack. All right, so there's the belt. On the armor here, at 25, you would want to go with the... Everything is terrible here. Everything is pretty terrible. I would, of these, I would just go with the shining armor. Is there anything else in here? You could go here with the elven armor too, for the march speed, but it's still not that great. At 30 on your armor, you definitely want to go with the Templar armor, which would give you the double up on your infantry defense, so it'd be 38% infantry defense. So march speed, recruitment speed, not terrible. And at 35, you would want to go with the Titan defense, which would give you 21%. And you get your angel defense there too, which is good. All right, for the accessory. And on some of these, you want to look at it whenever you're just getting your level 30. If you've gone from a double up infantry defense and then you've gone to a single infantry defense, it might be okay to go ahead and stay at the 25 or at the 30. And not upgrade that until you get to that other level past that where the actual upgrade for you would be better. So here you would go with your mage attack. So the Brave Heart, level 25, 10.2. And then at level 30, you'd go with the Holy Blessing, which would give you 19% mage attack. And at 35, you would want to go with the Chaos bracelet, which actually is really good. So this is at 35 is when you're going to first get your good ring here, bracelet. And here you would get a 21% infantry HP, 21% mage attack. And the angel HP is actually really good to have there too. When you get to 35, your angels are going to be one of your most important troops. Okay, now the last but not least is the boots. At 25, you'll want to go here. Still not a lot of really good choices, but I would go, wow, these are just not really good choices. I would go with the dwarf boots just for the mage HP, but I don't know. Yeah. At level 30, still pretty bad for boots. And you see the same thing for archers when you get up to 35. The stamina increase is not too terribly bad to go with. So I might go with the sacred boots just for that if you have to use them. At 35, you don't have a lot of very good choices either here. You have the mage HP or the monster or the stamina recovery, which is probably what I would go for here. All right, so there's your equipment. Now, on your equipment, when you're going for your enhancements, I would, as usual, it's going to be the same no matter what your setup is, but you're going to want to go with reduction of damage taken from mages. You'll want to have damage increased when attacking, damage decreased when attacking. And, as a fallback, you might want to go for angel attack, depending on what level you are, or an infantry HP or defense. But I would, you want to do the damage modifiers more than you want to do your stat increase or decrease. Your normal stats. The damage stats are always more important. And skip the ones that are just for cross realm. A lot of people use those, but they're not useful at all most of the time. Okay, so for your beast skills here, you'll want to go with marching army, your attack, and your stamina. Your HP. Definitely you want to go with those until you get if your HP is really high because of your artifacts or something else, and it's just extremely high, but your reduction in your mage attack, your reduction in the damage taken from mages is low, then you can swap that out. And I've done that a couple times just to balance things out a little bit. But in general, you'll want to use these three. You'll want to use the march side, your army expansion, your defense or your HP, and your attack. For your talents, this is wrong, but you'll want to go here with the Beast Inspiration that increases the HP and attack of your infantry. And you'll want to go with the increase HP and attack of mages here and the Beast Growl. And then after that, even before that, if you can get this high, go with the reduced damages taken by troops while defending. And even more importantly, increase the damage dealt by troops when attacking. So your damage modifiers, again, are going to be your most important. And I'm not going to bother going further down the tree here, but there you go. I do like the beasts that I have. The different beasts, there's whole videos on picking the beasts that you use, but I do like the skills that you have here. They are good. So, and they're a little angel focused. So I do like the Phoenix, and I like this particular one here that gives increased attack of mages and damage increase against angels. I like that more than the other one, the golden one. All right. So if we look at the Colossus now, again, you're gonna want to boost up your infantry statue first, and you want to get it to level 70 as fast as you can. And at level 7, the reason you want to do that is at 50 you're going to get damage increase against angels, and at 70 you're going to get an attack boost by 5.4%. And when you get to 70, then you'll be able to do your second one, and then you'd be able to go to the mage and increase your damage, right? So in the beginning of the game, one tip I do have is when you're doing events where it's a damage-based event, like you're attacking the Abyss Lord or whatever, you can switch and you can activate your mage and just focus up your attack here, your mage attack, and boost that up as high as you can. But at the beginning, you definitely want to boost up this guy here. Let me see. I'm not going to be able to get him all the way up to 70 right now. I wish I could. But I can do that. Get a little bit more infantry health. Okay. All right. So for Mystic College. So when you get your Mystic College, the first thing you're going to want to get is your Exhilaration. Again, you want to focus your front line no matter if you're using cav or infantry. So you want to focus up anytime you have a chance, you want to focus on the front line first and then pull in the back line. The back line is always a little sexy because it's going to give you a higher damage output, but your mages won't last at all if your infantry die. So you want to keep your infantry alive. So exhilaration will give you hit points for your infantry, and then the toughness will give percent damage reduction. So, first level 4.5% less damage taken, which is really, really good. So this toughness is really good. Your exhilaration is okay because you always need HP, but the damage modifier is always more important. Then the elite infantry increases the base HP of your infantry. This is really important. The base that you get is more important than just a single stat increase of percentage, because your base can increase this amount. So if you go up by 20% base, then the 4% here is actually going to be a 4% of this 20 plus the 4% of the other base that you started with of your infantry. All right. Dragon scale shield increases the base defense again. So you have the base HP, the base defense. This is cross-realm events later on. It's going to be super important for your Fortress War, your Elite Wars, Void, etc. And then the Intervene skill. So for both the infantry and the cav, these final skills look super interesting to me. I can't wait till I get to this point so I can actually test these to see how they do. But when battling lords, infantry will share the damage taken by the archers and mages. Also, shared damage taken by infantry is additionally reduced by 60%. Super important later on. On the mage side, the fatal hit, so it is like a crit. It's gonna, you have a 3.5% chance of dealing higher damage, of critting on a hit. And then it's just going to go up all the way to 16% here. Really good to have. Mage attack damage increase. Always damage modifiers are always super important. Base attack of mages. Same thing as like the infantry base. It's always really good. Base attack of mages when attacking infantry. Great. Cross realm damage increase. And then the final skill that you can get here in the Mystic College is increases the crit by a certain percent. So, and it will go up to 30% crit. Amazing. All right, so there's your Mystic College. I'm going to go ahead and touch here on your regular college. And, obviously, it should be obvious to you. You're going to focus on your infantry defense and health, and your mage attack, your army expansion, right? And the max number of armies, obviously. So you have your expansion to raise the amount that you can, your leadership here. Your leadership is the actual expansion. So this is the maximum number of soldiers you can send out in a marching army. Your iron shield will give you defense. Your physique, infantry physique, will raise your HP. And your mage staff will raise your mage attack. Those are the ones you want to focus on. Alright, so I have now gone through everything that you need to be aware of for your mage infantry setup. If you do have any questions, please let me know. And I look forward to talking to you again. Alright, thank you.